Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, Chapter 73. When we last left our heroes, we checked in very briefly with Ferris and Toka, as they were decided to go to the Whiteout Temple to seek help from the Grand White Priestess. Beyond that, we just kind of watched Team Natsu get crushed by the Moonlit Beauty Gods. Urza and Wendy are still out after 71. Natsu and Gray are very quickly frozen by Hakone, I think was her name. And Lucy's fight with Mimi, Lucy at least puts up some fight, but not enough to really do any damage on Mimi. But Mimi mentions that her spirit's weakness against Mimi might be tied to Lucy's weakness, as the strength of Yoko's yokai are tied to Yoko. So maybe we'll get something there, as Lucy kind of has to train to have her spirits be stronger. Who knows? Anyway, Selene has the Moonlit Beauty Gods bring all of Team Natsu back to her palace to distort them some more, in her own words. So yeah, let's jump right on into Chapter 73, Party on a Moony Night. We have a picture here of, Natsu in this kind of, biker punk outfit, and Lucy in this, rockabilly getup. Natsu and Lucy rocking the punk style. The background also has a very, 50s diner vibe, I think. Anyway, Chapter 73, Party on a Moony Night. Until we open on Black Moon Mountain, which I'm guessing is Selene's home base. We see a castle there, kind of a traditional Japanese-style castle. And we see, I think that's Lucy in the hot tub. I'm trying to think who else it could be. It might be, I don't think we've seen Selene with her hair down. But I don't know why Lucy would be in a hot tub, given that she was just captured by Mimi. And she gets out. Yeah, it does seem to be Selene, as she has a couple of attendants, clothe her, or dry her off after the bath. Put a robe on her, and kind of put her little hat on. And yeah, at this point, it's obviously Selene. And she approaches Natsu and Gray, who are both, tied up, hands to the ceiling. Sorry for the wait. It's imperative that I take a hot bath thrice a day. And then Gray asks, doesn't bathing in front of guys make you a pervert? And Natsu just snaps, hey, just untie us already. What, is this the same room? I can't quite tell if this is the same room as where she was bathing. But anyway, dragons by nature don't have a habit of wearing clothes. Well, I suppose that when I'm in this form, it's better to adapt to human habits. Well, I mean, yeah, they don't exactly have bodies that are equipped for clothes. But most of the the human forms of dragons that we've seen are all clothed. So it seems to just kind of be a Selene thing. I don't know. Gray looks around. Where are we, anyway? Natsu responds, I'm pretty sure we were frozen. And Selene tells them, this is Black Moon Mountain. It's the palace in Elantir where the moon looks most beautiful. Elantir's moon does not wax or wane. That's one reason why I've taken a liking to this world. Alright, she's just really into her moon aesthetic. Yeah, whatever, now let's fight. Isn't that what you're after? Natsu just wants to get the show on the road already. And Selene corrects him. It's not quite like that. What I'm after is entertainment. I don't want to eat humans or take over the world. I simply wish to have a drink and party while watching the elegant moon. And Gray kind of pauses as Natsu asks, are you actually a good guy? I mean, I think what he's going for is that that's not too different from what Fairy Tail wants. You know, Fairy Tail just, drinks and parties and helps people. Except, I imagine Selene's version of entertainment is vastly different from what Natsu imagines. And we see Elantir, in her, super, villain face. As long as I enjoy myself, what does it matter if a world or two gets sullied and distorted? Yeah, there we go. And Natsu just snaps, you are a bad guy. And Selene responds, I am what causes magic power to overflow in Elantir more than it already does. I want to see what happens then. And Gray responds, you were told it would explode. And Selene just kind of ignores him. But before that, I wanted to play with you all. And she does her greeting, presenting the room to them at Black Moon Mountain. And then she like claps her hands together. Now then, it's time to feast. And in comes all of her attendants with this whole feast set up. All of the attendants have meals, while Natsu and Gray are still bound in the center of the room, which is kind of threatening. It makes them look like the food. We see a bunch of like dancing attendants, like dancing with fans, and this. I'm not sure what instrument that is. I know I've like seen it before. Some kind of traditional Japanese stringed instrument. And Gray looks around. What's going on? And Natsu just growls, damn it! And it smells so good. And one of the attendants comes over to him. Would you like some? She has like some food in a little spoon. Say, hell no! And then we have Hakone, who is also here, kind of feeling up Gray's abs. Such a nice body. Don't touch me, that's cold! And Mimi just kind of is also there, sipping on some sake. Their bodies are quite toned. And then these two girls are kind of like hugging up on Yoko. Yoko-sama, you're so cute today. We just see all of the attendants like partying. And Gray looks around. These ladies, what are they after? And Selene just responds, a woman drinks with a captive man to liven up the party. Isn't that simply delightful? Come on, everybody sing and dance. This here is a wild party on a moony night. I'm curious about the word choice for moony, just so that's not exactly a common phrase. Like, it seemed like moonlit would be the more obvious choice. Anyway, I'm going to talk very, very briefly about, the way, specifically this panel of Hakone and Gray. And why I'm not as obviously bothered as I would be. Not specifically were the roles reversed, but generally what I'm getting at is that with your general, female character fan service, the camera, so to speak, is a lot more voyeuristic. And so this doesn't bother me as much, because the camera is very, back, it's very static, it's not really getting all up in Gray's business. And so it just kind of sets Hakone up as evil, as just kind of, creepy and uncomfortable, without making the audience feel creepy and uncomfortable, which is the kind of thing I wish that, Eden Zero would do more often, in this kind of storyline. But anyway, that's enough of that tangent for now. Anyway, come on everybody, sing and dance. This here's a wild party on a moony night. Anyway, back to the actual story. We see all the women dancing. Hakone is still kind of creeping up on Gray. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking, by the way. There's probably some couple walking outside on the street. She's like that sometimes. Then we see Yoko, who's like drawing Natsu while he's tied up. Mimi is just drinking her liquor straight from the bottle. Some of the attendants are stripping. And similarly to the Gray scene, it's not really shown in a terribly voyeuristic way. Same thing I could have said about Selene getting out of the bath earlier. Anyway, the attendants all laugh at that. And then Selene stops. Now then, it's time. Though I am a little bit curious, what exactly what are the arrangements here at Selene's palace, before we go any further? Because I've already talked about how Mimi is, like, clearly gay. When she first sees Lucy, she's very clearly attracted to Lucy. We also have Yoko, where's the Yoko panel? On, like, page 11, with the two girls, like, hugging up on her. But Hakone is, the way she's messing with Gray is clearly, at least, if not straight, at least attracted to men, generally speaking. So, I don't know, I'm probably thinking way too much into this, way more than Mashima ever intended. But, like, what exactly, like, are these all, women who are attracted to Selene? Like, especially because we see the two women who strip for the party. So is there a, romantic or sexual component to the attendants, to everyone in the palace? But then, Selene also has this line, where is it? A woman drinks with a captive man to liven up the party. Isn't that something delightful? Pairing that with the Hakone bit of such a nice body also seems sexual. I don't know. Like I said, I'm diving way too deep into this. So let's move on. Selene turns to Yoko. Yoko, as we arranged, and she salutes. Right. Preparations are complete. From the heaven of women's bodies to the hell of she-demons. Okay, there's a line with what I was just bringing up. There's a line to think about. I don't know what that's about, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But the moon starts shining brighter behind her. And then the light is now like much larger than what the moon was. And Gray and Natsu are kind of blinded by it. What the? The moon's getting bigger. And the light kind of overtakes the room. Wah! And then we see Natsu. That seems to be some kind of teleportation spell. As Natsu, seemingly alone, is deposited to some cave? A cave? When did I end up here? Where's Gray? So yeah, Natsu's alone here, and then he hears a voice. That is the bottom layer of Black Moon Mountain. A place where and it's Selene, obviously. A place where the yokai of rivers and mountains dwell. Onigatsuki. Onigatsuki means Moon of Demons, and it's possibly a reference to Onigashima, a mythological island of demons. And anyone who is reading One Piece right now is very familiar with Onigashima. Anyway. This seems to be kind of an inverse of Yoko's spell. Yoko's whole gimmick of summoning demons. Given that Selene specifically calls to Yoko first, Yoko's the one who says preparations are complete, I think this is somehow tied to Yoko's ability. Maybe. I don't know. The two of you are in different places. Especially because this is a place with yokai, which ties into Yoko even more. I wonder if you can defeat the yokai and climb your way back up here. We'll be watching you struggle to spice things up. Our fun party, that is. Ha 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 ha. And Gray just snaps, don't screw with us. But Natsu grins and starts to crack his knuckles. This is 100 times better than being your sideshows. It doesn't matter if they're yokai or demons. I'm all fired up. And he's has his fists swirling, getting ready to start punching things. Kiki! In this kind of... We can only see a silhouette at first. It looks like a clawed legs, a kind of semi-spherical body. Oh, here comes one now. And that semi-spherical body is an umbrella, actually. An umbrella, a torso, and a pair of legs. Fire Dragon's Iron Fist! And he just slams right into it, immediately destroying it. Yokai is unconscious at the very least, if not just dead. Gahahaha! These yokai are no big deal. Take that, and that! He's just utterly destroying them all. Who's up next? And then we see what looks like a snake tail slithering behind him. And he turns around. And then we see the tail again. Above. We see the tail looks to be looming over him, I think. There's someone with different magic power from before. And then it binds him. Whoa! Ah, crap. And we see a woman's upper body. With her tongue sticking out, scales down her neck. Huh? And she looks awfully similar to Lucy. And Natsu feels the same. Lucy? Your former friend has become a yokai. A Nure Onna. Translator note, a Nure Onna, meaning wet woman, is a man-eating sea serpent from Japanese folklore with a head or upper body of a woman. So yeah, to be continued next time. So yeah. This is a really fun chapter. I maybe gave it a lot more analysis than it really needed in the middle part there. But it is fun. We see, I don't know, Selene's setup is so interesting to me. Especially given that she's openly, so my question is she hiding the fact from her attendants that, she's perfectly okay with Elantir being destroyed? Are her attendants Elantirians, or did they, follow Selene from wherever she came from? Earthland at first, and then any other worlds that she tried out. Are they, groupies she's picked up along the way? Or are they originally from Elantir? Because I imagine if they're from Elantir, they'd be a lot less comfortable with Elantir going belly up. Unless they're just that in love with Selene that, their attraction to her overrules their love for their homeland, which is certainly possible. And I don't know. I honestly don't have any idea if Mashima is going to dig into the story from that angle. But if he does, I'd be interested to see where he goes with it. But yeah, we really like a good chunk of the chapter is just this party. And it's fun, even if the chapter is mostly just kind of set up for Natsu and Gray against their former friends. At least Lucy, but I can't imagine it'll just be Lucy. At the very least, Natsu will have to fight Lucy here, and Gray will have to fight Juvia. That just seems to make the most sense to me. How Wendy and Urza fit into all this is kind of anyone's guess. But yeah, after our introduction to this world did not go so well, with the quick defeat at the hands of the beauty gods, this is kind of our it's a chance to redeem ourselves, let's say. And I do, like I kind of mentioned back in 72, expect that this will end up being the undoing of Selene. She had the opportunity to kill all of Team Natsu right then and there, but her love for entertainment is going to be what does her in the end. Very classic setup for a villain defeat. But for now, Natsu has to fight Lucy. And we'll see how he handles that. I don't really expect Natsu will just freeze up and be unable to fight, if I'm being honest. But he'll definitely react, I don't know, he'll definitely have an interesting reaction to this, and I can't wait to see what it is. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this chapter. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like, or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!